I was 23 when I walked through those black iron gates for the first time. The mansion stood like a monster made of stone. 5 stories tall. Windows dark as empty eyes. And somewhere inside, the man everyone feared lived behind those walls. My mother's last words to me were simple. Keep your head down. Don't ask questions. Come home alive. I didn't know then that I would break every single one of those rules. My name doesn't matter. In that house, I was just the new girl. The one who cleaned the blood off marble floors and pretended not to see the guns hidden in desk drawers.
But he saw me.
From the very first day. The head housekeeper was a woman with gray hair pulled so tight it made her eyes look mean. She walked me through halls that seemed to go on forever. You don't go to the 3rd floor. Ever. You don't speak unless spoken to. You don't look at him. Not in the eyes. Not at all if you can help it. Him, I asked. Her face went pale. Mr. D'Angelo. The master of the house. The way she said his name made my stomach twist. We stopped at a door made of dark wood. She knocked 3 times. Come in. His voice was deep.
Come.
The kind of voice that didn't need to yell to make you afraid. The office was huge. Books lined the walls from floor to ceiling. A desk sat in the middle, and behind it, he was younger than I expected. Maybe 35. Dark hair combed back. A suit that probably cost more than my mother made in a year. Eyes so gray they looked silver in the afternoon light coming through the window. Those eyes found me immediately. This is the new maid, sir, the housekeeper said. She'll be taking over the East Wing duties. He didn't look away from me. Didn't even blink. What's your name? He asked. The housekeeper stepped forward. Sir, she's just... I asked her. His voice cut through the air like a knife. Not you. My throat felt dry. They just call me. Your real name. I should have lied. Should have given him something fake. But those silver eyes held me like chains. May, I whispered. My name is May. Something changed in his face. Just for a second. Like he'd heard something in my voice that surprised him. May. He said it slow.
Testing it.
You're young. I'm old enough to work, sir. Are you afraid of me, May? Yes. Every part of me screamed yes. No, sir. The corner of his mouth moved. Not quite a smile. Liar. The first week I learned the real rules. The ones nobody told you out loud. Rule 1. The men who visited the mansion were dangerous. You could tell by the way they walked. The way their jackets hung heavy on one side where the guns pressed against the fabric. Rule 2. Some rooms stayed locked. And you never ever asked why. Rule 3. When you heard screaming from the basement, you turned up the music in your headphones and cleaned faster. I scrubbed floors until my hands bled. Washed windows until the glass shined like mirrors. Kept my eyes down and my mouth shut. But every day, I felt him watching me. In the hallways, I'd turn and catch him standing at the top of the stairs. In the library, I'd dust the shelves and feel his presence in the doorway. In the kitchen, I'd bring up his coffee and find him already looking at me before I even entered the room. Why are you always staring at me? I finally asked one morning. The question came out before I could stop it. He was sitting at his desk, papers spread out in front of him. He didn't look up. Because you're the only person in this house who looks scared of the right things. What does that mean? It means everyone else is afraid of me. Now he did look up. Those silver eyes pinned me in place. You're afraid of something else. My heart hammered against my ribs. I need to finish the floor, sir. What are you running from, May? Nothing. Another lie. He stood up, and suddenly the room felt smaller. You're good at those. He walked toward me. Slow. Like he had all the time in the world. Let me tell you something about lies, he said, stopping just a foot away. I've heard thousands of them. From men begging for their lives. From business partners trying to cheat me. From women who wanted to get close to my money. He leaned down, his breath warm against my ear. Yours are different. You lie to protect yourself, not to hurt anyone else. That makes you interesting. I couldn't breathe, couldn't move. Why did you need this job so badly? He asked. The truth burned in my throat. The debt collectors banging on our door. My mother's medical bills piling up like bricks building a wall around our lives. The man who said he'd make all our problems disappear if I need the money, I whispered. That's all. He straightened up, walked back to his desk. Then do your job, and stay out of trouble. I ran from that room like the devil himself was chasing me. 3 weeks in, I saw someone die. I wasn't supposed to be on the second floor that night. But the head housekeeper was sick, and someone needed to clean Mr. D'Angelo's private study before his morning meeting. I had my headphones in, music loud enough to drown out the silence that made the mansion feel like a tomb. I didn't hear the door open behind me, didn't hear the footsteps, didn't hear the gun, but I felt the hand grab my shoulder and spin me around. A man I'd never seen before stood there, blood on his shirt, eyes wild with something that looked like fear and fury mixed together. Where is he? The man shook me. Where is D'Angelo? I don't know, You work for him. You know. The gun pressed against my stomach. Cold metal through my thin uniform. My whole body went numb. This was it. This was how I died. In a mansion full of monsters, killed by a stranger over questions I couldn't answer. Please, I heard myself say. Please, I'm just a maid. I don't know anything. Please. Step away from her. Mr. D'Angelo's voice came from the doorway. He didn't yell. Didn't even sound angry. The man with the gun spun around, dragging me with him, using me as a shield. You stay back. I'll kill her. I swear I'll. No, you won't. Mr. D'Angelo walked into the room, calm as someone taking a walk in the park. You came here to kill me. Because I took your business. Because I made you look weak. He kept walking forward. But you don't have the courage to face me yourself. So you grabbed a 17-year-old girl and put a gun to her stomach. I said stay back. Shoot me instead. Everything stopped. Mr. D'Angelo opened his arms wide. I'm right here. This is what you came for. So do it. The gun trembled against my skin. But if you hurt her... Mr. D'Angelo's voice went cold. So cold it made my blood freeze. I will destroy everyone you've ever loved. Your mother, your sister, that little nephew who just started school. I will burn your entire family tree down to ashes. And I'll make sure you're alive to watch. The man's hand shook harder. It's your choice, Mr. D'Angelo said. Walk away now, and maybe live through tomorrow. Or pull that trigger and guarantee everyone you love dies screaming. For 5 seconds, nothing happened. Then the gun dropped. The man ran. My legs gave out, but before I hit the floor, arms caught me. Strong arms. Safe arms. Mr. D'Angelo held me against his chest, and I realized I was shaking so hard my teeth chattered. You're safe, he said quietly. I've got you. You're safe. That's when I started crying. He carried me to his room. Not the study. Not some guest bedroom. His room. I sat on the edge of a bed that could have fit 5 people. He brought me water in a crystal glass. Drink. I drank. My hands still shook. Why? I finally asked, why did you save me? He sat down in a chair across from me, elbows on his knees. For the first time, he looked tired. Because you don't belong in this world, he said. You're clean.
Pure.
Everything here is rotten. But you.
He stopped.
You reminded me that some things are still worth protecting. You don't even know me. I know enough. His silver eyes met mine. I know you send every penny you earn to your mother. I know you work 2 jobs just to keep a roof over her head. I know some man is threatening you both because of debts your father left behind. My blood went cold. How? I know everything about everyone in my house. It's how I stay alive. Are you going to use it against me?
No.
He stood up, walked to the window. I'm going to make it disappear. What?
The debt.
The man threatening you. All of it. He looked back at me. Consider it payment for tonight. For the fact that you almost died because of my enemies. Tears burned my eyes again. Why would you do that? Because I can.
He said it so simply.
Because in this ugly, violent world I live in, maybe I can do one good thing. He moved toward the door. Get some sleep. You're taking tomorrow off. Wait. I stood up. My legs still felt like water. I don't understand. You kill people. You hurt people. Everyone's terrified of you. But you saved me. You're helping me. Why? He stopped with his hand on the doorknob. Maybe I'm tired of being the monster, he said quietly. Or maybe you make me want to be something else. Then he left me alone in his room, in his bed, surrounded by the scent of expensive cologne and gunpowder and something I couldn't name. That night, I realized something that scared me more than any gun ever could. I was starting to trust him. I woke up in silk sheets. For a moment, I forgot where I was. Then everything came rushing back. The gun. The fear. His arms catching me. You're safe. I've got you. I found my uniform washed and folded on a chair. A note sat on top in handwriting so perfect it looked printed. Take the day.
Rest.
You're safe here.
V.
V, his first name was Vincent. I'd heard the other staff whisper it like a curse word. Vincent D'Angelo. The man who ran half the city's underground. The man who made criminals afraid. The man who'd held me like I was something precious. I should have run. Should have packed my things and never come back. Instead, I got dressed and went looking for him. I found him in the library. He sat in a leather chair by the window, reading a book with yellowed pages. He wore a simple black shirt, sleeves rolled up. For the first time, I saw his forearms. Scars ran across his skin like a map of violence. You should be resting, he said without looking up. I tried. Couldn't. Nightmares. Just thoughts. He closed the book, looked at me with those silver eyes that seemed to see straight through my skin into my bones. What kind of thoughts? I stepped into the room. The morning light made everything soft, made him look less like a monster and more like a man. Thoughts about why someone like you lives in a house this big and empty. Why you have 50 people working for you, but you're always alone. Why you? I stopped. Why I what? Why you looked so sad when you said you wanted to do one good thing. Something in his face changed. A wall cracking. Sit down, May. It wasn't an order. It was a request. I sat. I was 13 when my father brought me into this life, he began. 13 when I watched him kill a man for the first time. He put the gun in my hand after and said, now you do it. Show me you're my son. My stomach twisted. I threw up for an hour. But eventually I did what he wanted. Because in this world, you're either the one with the gun or the one on your knees begging. That's horrible. That's survival. He leaned forward. By the time I was 20, I'd taken over. Built this empire brick by bloody brick. Got so good at being the monster that I forgot what it felt like to be anything else. Until a 17-year-old girl looked me in the eyes and lied to me because she was trying to protect her mother. Until that same girl stood there with a gun to her stomach and said, please, like she still believed the world had mercy in it. His voice got quieter. You reminded me what I killed to become this. The air between us felt heavy.
Charged.
What did you kill? I whispered. Everything soft. Everything good. His eyes locked onto mine. Everything that could have loved someone the right way. My heart did something strange in my chest. Maybe it's not dead, I said. Maybe it's just sleeping. May. He said my name like a warning. Don't what? Don't look at me like that. Like what? Like you think I'm savable. He stood up, paced to the window. I'm not some project you can fix. I've done things that would make you sick. Things I can never take back. I'm not trying to fix you. Then what are you doing? I stood up too. Walked over to him. I'm trying to understand you. We stood there inches apart. I could feel the heat coming off his body. Could see the way his jaw tightened like he was fighting something inside himself. You should stay away from me, he said. Probably. This can't happen. What can't happen? Whatever you're thinking. Whatever I'm thinking. There's too many reasons why it's wrong. Name one. I'm way younger than you. Name another. I'm dangerous. So, is crossing the street. May. His hand came up like he was going to touch my face, then stopped. Hung in the air between us. I will destroy you. Not because I want to, but because that's what I do. I destroy everything I touch. I reached up,
Took his hand.
pressed his palm against my cheek. Then maybe I'm already broken, I whispered. And I've got nothing left to lose. His control shattered. He kissed me. Not soft. Not gentle. He kissed me like a drowning man who'd just found air. Like I was the first good thing he'd touched in decades. Like the world was ending and I was the only thing worth saving. I kissed him back just as hard. When we finally broke apart, we were both shaking. This is a mistake, he breathed against my mouth. I don't care. You will, when you see what I really am. Show me then. Show me everything. I'm not afraid. You should be. But I'm not. He rested his forehead against mine. Closed his eyes. God help us both, he whispered. For 3 weeks, we existed in a beautiful lie. During the day, I was the maid. He was the boss. We barely spoke in front of the others. But at night, I'd slip through the hidden door that connected the east wing to his chambers. We'd talk until sunrise. He taught me about books, art, the world beyond the city I'd never seen. I taught him how to laugh, how to smile without it looking like a weapon. Tell me about your mother, he said one night. We lay on the floor of his library, surrounded by books and moonlight. She's strong, stronger than me. Even when she got sick, she never complained, never made me feel guilty for having to work. She raised you right. What about your mother? His face went dark. She left when I was 5. Couldn't handle what my father was, what he was turning me into. Do you miss her? Every day. He turned to look at me. Does that make me weak? It makes you human. He tucked a strand of hair behind my ear. You're too good for this place. For me. Stop saying that. It's true. Then make yourself worthy of me. He blinked. What? I sat up. You keep saying you're this monster. This thing that destroys everything. But I don't see that. I see a man who saved my life, who paid off my mother's debts without asking for anything in return, who reads poetry at 3 in the morning and cries during sad movies. I don't cry during movies. You absolutely do. I saw you wipe your eyes during that scene where the dog. He pulled me down, kissing me to shut me up. When we came up for air, he was smiling. A real smile. You're impossible, he said. And you're not as scary as you think you are. Oh no. No. Maybe I should remind you exactly how scary I can be. His hands slid down my sides. My breath caught. Vincent. I whispered. Tell me to stop. I can't. May. His voice went rough. If we do this, if we cross this line, there's no going back. You understand that. I understood. I understood that this was dangerous. That I was 23 and he was 35. That he was my boss. That his world was violence and blood and death. I understood all of it. And I didn't care. I'm not asking to go back, I said. What happened next, I won't describe in detail. But I'll tell you this. He was gentle. So gentle, it made me want to cry. Tell me if it hurts, he kept saying. Tell me and I'll stop. I swear I'll stop. It did hurt, at first. But then it felt like flying. Afterward, we lay tangled together in his massive bed. His fingers traced patterns on my shoulder. Are you okay? He asked quietly. Better than okay. May, what we just did. Don't. I turned to face him. Don't ruin it by telling me it was wrong. I chose this. I chose you. You're my maid. Does this matter? That's what people say when they're trying to justify something bad. Then justify it better. I pressed my hand against his chest, feeling his heartbeat. Tell me why, if this is so wrong, it feels like the first right thing I've ever done. He had no answer for that. We fell asleep holding each other like we could protect each other from the world outside those walls. We were wrong. I woke up alone. A note on the pillow. Meeting. Back by noon. Stay in a room.
V.
I should have listened. But I was in my 20s and stupid and in love, and I wanted coffee. I wrapped myself in one of his shirts and padded downstairs barefoot. The kitchen was empty except for one person, the head housekeeper. She stood by the stove, and when she saw me, her face went white, then red, then something worse. "You stupid, stupid girl," she hissed. I froze. "I tried to warn you. I told you the first day. Don't look at him. Don't let him see you. I don't know what you. Don't lie to me." She grabbed my arm. Hard enough to bruise. "You think you're the first? You think you're special?" My heart stopped. What? Girls like you come through here all the time. Young.
Pretty.
Stupid. They fall for his money, his power, his sad eyes. And you know what happens to them? I couldn't speak. They disappear. She leaned close. Her breath smelled like coffee and cigarettes. One day they're here, the next they're gone. Nobody asks questions. Nobody goes looking. You're lying. Am I? Ask yourself why a man like him, rich, powerful, handsome, why he's alone. Why no woman has ever stayed in this house longer than a month. She let me go. Get out while you can, girl. Before he gets bored of you. Before you become another body in an unmarked grave. She walked away, leaving me standing there in Vincent's shirt, feeling like the ground had opened up beneath my feet. I waited in his room.
Dressed.
Packed my few belongings. When he came back, he knew immediately something was wrong. "May? What is it? Tell me about the other girls." His face went blank.
What?
The other maids. The other young, stupid girls who worked here. The ones who disappeared. He went very still.
Who told you that?
Does it matter? Is it true? May. Is it true? No. He moved toward me. I stepped back. Pain flashed across his face. May, I swear to you, whatever you heard, it's... Then explain it. Explain why everyone in this house looks at me like I'm already dead. Explain why you're alone. Explain why. Because they all left me, he shouted. The room went silent. They left, he said again, quieter. Not because I hurt them. Because I wouldn't. Because I tried to be good to them, and they got scared. Scared of what I was. Scared of what people would say. Scared that one day my enemies would use them to get to me. He sat down on the bed.
Put his head in his hands.
3 years ago, I fell in love with a woman. Maria. She worked in my legal office. Smart, beautiful, kind. I thought maybe, finally, I could have something normal. Something real. What happened? My rivals kidnapped her. Sent me a video of what they did to her. What they made her say before.
He stopped.
I got there too late. She was already gone. Tears ran down his cheeks. After that, I swore. No more. No more innocent people in my life. No more chances for my enemies to take something I love and use it to break me. He looked up at me. Then you walked into my office. And I tried to stay away. Tried to keep my distance. But you looked at me like I was human. Like I was worth saving. And I was too selfish to let you go. I felt my own tears starting. The other girls, he continued. They were staff who quit. Who moved away because they met someone, got a better job, went back to school. Normal reasons. But people in this house like to gossip. They like to make up stories because it makes life more interesting. The housekeeper said, the housekeeper has worked here for 30 years. She's seen things. Terrible things. It's made her paranoid. Made her see danger everywhere. He stood up. Walked to me, but didn't touch me. I can give you names. Addresses. Proof that every woman who's ever worked in this house is alive and well. Why didn't you tell me this before? Because I was hoping you'd never have to know. Hoping we could exist in our own little world where my past didn't matter. I looked at him. Really looked at him. This man who'd saved my life. Who'd paid my mother's debts. Who'd held me like I was made of glass. Who'd been gentle when he could have been rough. Who cried over movies and read poetry and looked at me like I was something holy. I believe you, I said. You do? Yes. He exhaled like I'd just given him back his life. But Vincent, she was right about one thing. Your enemies will come for me. They'll use me to hurt you. I know. And you're willing to risk that? Risk me?
No. His jaw set.
Which is why we have to end this. Why you have to leave. Go somewhere safe. Somewhere they can't find you. And if I don't want to go? May, what if I want to stay? What if I want to fight for this? For us. You don't understand what you're saying. Then make me understand. He grabbed my shoulders. Not hard, but firm enough to make sure I was listening. These people don't just kill you, May. They make you suffer. They take everything that makes you who you are, and they destroy it piece by piece. And they make the people who love you watch. I'm not afraid. You should be. But I'm not. And do you know why? I grabbed his face, made him look at me. Because I'd rather die with you than live without you. Because these last 3 weeks have been the only time in my life I've felt like I mattered. Like I was more than just someone's daughter or someone's maid or someone's burden. You're not a burden. Then don't treat me like one. Don't make decisions for me. Let me choose. Let me decide if you're worth the risk. And what do you choose? You. I whispered. I choose you. Every time. No matter what. He kissed me then. Soft and desperate and terrified. God, May. He breathed against my lips. What have you done to me? The same thing you did to me. What's that? Made me believe in something worth dying for. 2 months passed like a dream. Vincent taught me things. How to shoot a gun. How to spot a liar. How to survive in his world. If something happens to me, he'd say during our lessons in the basement range, you need to be able to protect yourself. Nothing's going to happen to you. Promise me, May. Promise you'll run if things go bad. I never promised. During the day, I still cleaned. Still played the part of the invisible maid. But the other staff knew. I could see it in their eyes. The way they watched me and Vincent when we thought no one was looking. Some looked sorry for me. Others looked jealous. The head housekeeper looked afraid. At night, I slept in Vincent's arms. We'd talk about the future like it was something we could actually have. Where do you want to go? He'd ask. When this is all over. When I'm out of this life. You mean that? You'd really leave? For you? I'd leave it all behind. The beach, I'd say. Somewhere quiet. Where nobody knows our names. I'll buy you a house. Right on the water. You can watch the sunrise every morning. What will you do? Watch you watch the sunrise. That's enough. I should have known it was too good to last. Vincent threw a party. One of those fancy gatherings where men in expensive suits stood around drinking wine that cost more than cars. Stay upstairs, he told me before the guests arrived. These people aren't safe. I'll be careful.
May.
Please. But I was stupid. Curious. I wanted to see his world. The part he kept hidden from me. I put on one of the dresses he'd bought me. Simple. Black. Nothing too fancy. Enough to blend in. I slipped downstairs around midnight, when the party was in full swing. The mansion blazed with light. Crystal chandeliers. Champagne fountains. Women in dresses that cost more than my mother's house. And men. So many men. All of them with that same look in their eyes. The look that said they'd done terrible things and would do them again, without losing sleep. I stayed in the shadows. Watched Vincent work the room. He was good at it. Shaking hands. Smiling. Playing the gracious host. But I could see the tension in his shoulders. The way his eyes constantly scanned the crowd like he was expecting danger. Well, what do we have here? I spun around. A man stood behind me. Older. Maybe 50. Silver hair. Expensive cologne that smelled like it was trying too hard. You're new, he said, looking me up and down like I was something for sale. One of Vincent's staff. Just a guest. I lied. Really? Because you look awfully young to be running in these circles. My stomach clenched. I should go. His hand shot out. Grabbed my wrist. Not so fast. I don't think Vincent mentioned he was seeing anyone. And he tells me everything. We're partners, you see. Very close. Let go of me. Or what? He pulled me closer. His breath smelled like whiskey. You'll tell Vincent? He won't care. He goes through pretty things like you all the time. They're just toys. Entertainment. That's not true.
No.
Then why are you hiding upstairs like a secret? Why hasn't he introduced you to anyone?
Why?
Because he's protecting her. From people like you. Vincent's voice cut through the noise like a blade. The man dropped my wrist.
Stepped back.
Vincent stood 3 feet away.
His face calm.
But his eyes were murder. Vincent, I was just touching something that belongs to me. I didn't know she was yours.
I swear.
If I'd known. Get out. What?
Get out
Of
my house.
Vincent's voice dropped to a whisper. And if you ever come near her again, I'll put a bullet in your skull and sleep like a baby afterward. The man ran. Vincent turned to me. The anger in his face melted into something worse. Disappointment. I told you to stay upstairs. I know.
I'm sorry.
I just wanted to see. You wanted to see what? These people? These monsters. He grabbed my hand, led me through a side door into a quiet hallway. May, these aren't normal businessmen. These are killers.
Thieves.
The worst people in this city. And you just walked into a room full of them in a dress that makes you look. He stopped himself. Look what? Beautiful, he said quietly. You look beautiful. And that makes you a target. I can handle myself.
No.
You can't. He cupped my face. And that's not your fault. But this world, my world, it eats people like you alive. Good people. Pure people. I'm not pure. Not anymore. Yes, you are. Don't let what we've done make you think otherwise. Shouting erupted from the main room. Then gunshots. Vincent's entire body changed. The gentle man disappeared. The predator emerged. Stay here. Don't move. Don't make a sound. Vincent. I mean it, May. Whatever you hear, whatever happens, do not come out of this hallway. He pulled a gun from inside his jacket, checked the magazine. Then he kissed me. Hard and fast. I love you, he said. He'd never said it before. Vincent. But he was already gone. I didn't listen. Of course I didn't listen. I crept along the wall toward the main room, peeked around the corner. Bodies on the floor. Blood on the marble. Vincent stood in the center of the room, gun aimed at a man I didn't recognize. The man had his own gun pointed right back. You made a mistake coming here, Vincent said, his voice eerily calm. Did I? Seems like I'm the one who crashed your little party. Killed half your guys. And now? The man smiled. Now I'm going to kill you. Take over everything you built. You can try. I will. But first. The man's eyes flicked to something across the room. First, I think we should talk about that pretty little thing you've been hiding upstairs. My blood froze. I don't know what you're talking about.
Please.
You think I don't have eyes in this house? You think I don't know about the teenage maid you're fucking? Vincent's gun didn't waver. She's got nothing to do with this. Oh, but she does. See, when you kill a man like you don't just take his business. You take everything. His money, his reputation, his woman. Touch her, and you're dead. Am I? Because from where I'm standing, you're outnumbered, outgunned, and very, very distracted. That's when I saw them. 3 men creeping up behind Vincent. I didn't think. I grabbed a champagne bottle from a nearby table and threw it as hard as I could. It smashed against one man's head. He went down. Everyone turned to look at me. May, run, Vincent screamed. But it was too late. Hands grabbed me from behind, dragged me into the room. A gun pressed against my temple. There she is, the leader said, smiling. The famous little maid. You know, Vincent, for someone so smart, you really are stupid about women. Let her go. This is between us.
No.
This is about making you suffer. He walked over to me, ran his finger down my cheek. I wanted to vomit. Tell me, sweetheart. Was he good to you? Did he make you feel special? I spat in his face. He backhanded me so hard I saw stars. May. Vincent lunged forward. Two men grabbed him, forced him to his knees. Here's what's going to happen, the leader said, wiping my spit off his face. You're going to watch me kill her. Nice and slow. And then, when you're broken, when you're begging, I'll kill you too. He pressed his gun under my chin. Vincent's face. God, his face. I'd never seen him look so helpless. So destroyed. Please, he said. His voice cracked. Please. I'll give you everything. The business. The money. All of it. Just let her go. Everything. Everything. Interesting. The leader pretended to think about it. But you know what? I'd rather watch you lose the one thing you actually care about. His finger moved to the trigger. I closed my eyes. Thought about my mother. About Vincent. About the beach house we'd never get to see. A gunshot rang out. But I didn't feel anything. I opened my eyes. The leader stood there, confused. Blood blooming across his white shirt. He looked down. Touched the wound. Looked back up at me. Then fell. Behind him stood the head housekeeper, holding a smoking gun. Nobody touches my girls, she said. Then all hell broke loose. Vincent fought like a demon. In 30 seconds, the men holding him were dead. He grabbed his gun. Started shooting. The housekeeper grabbed my hand. Come on. We ran through hallways I didn't know existed. Secret passages. Hidden doors. Gunfire echoed behind us. There's a car in the garage, she panted. Keys in the ignition. Get in. Drive. Don't stop until you're 3 states away. What about Vincent? He'll find you. He always finds what he's looking for. She stopped at a door. Opened it. The garage lay beyond. I'm sorry I scared you before. I was trying to protect you. Make you leave before this happened. You saved my life. Then don't waste it. Go. She pushed me through the door. It slammed shut behind me. I ran to the car. A black sedan. Expensive. Fast. I got in. Started the engine. The garage door began to open. But I couldn't leave. I couldn't leave him. I turned off the car. Got out. Ran back toward the house. I found Vincent in the main hall. Surrounded by bodies. Blood everywhere. He was bleeding too. From his shoulder. His side. But he was alive. He saw me and his face went white. May? What are you? You were supposed to run. I'm not leaving you. May, there's more coming. A whole army. We have to. The front door exploded inward. 20 men poured through. Maybe more. Vincent pushed me behind him. Raised his gun. When I start shooting, he said quietly, you run. You hear me? You run, and you don't look back. No. May. If you die, I die. That's the deal. He turned to look at me. Blood on his face. Death in his eyes. And smiled. You're insane, he said. Learned from the best. He kissed me one last time. Together then, he whispered. Together. He spun around. Started firing. I grabbed a gun from one of the fallen men. I'd never shot at a person before. But for him, I'd burn the whole world down. I don't remember all of it. The fighting. The blood. The screaming. I remember Vincent's hand in mine. I remember standing back to back. I remember thinking, this is how we die. And I'm not even scared. Then sirens. Police. So many police. Someone had called them. Maybe the housekeeper. Maybe a neighbor. The men scattered like rats. Vincent and I stood there in the ruins of his mansion, covered in blood, holding guns. Drop your weapons, the police shouted. Vincent dropped his gun immediately. I dropped mine. Hands up. We raised our hands. Vincent D'Angelo, you're under arrest. They put handcuffs on him. Started reading his rights. He looked at me the whole time. May. Listen to me. There's a lawyer. His card is in my desk. Top drawer. Call him. He'll take care of everything. Vincent. Tell him code silver. He'll know what it means. He'll protect you. I'm not leaving you. You have to. They're going to take me away. And I need you safe. No. No, I'll wait. May. His eyes bored into mine. I love you. Remember that. No matter what happens next. No matter what you hear about me. I love you. They dragged him toward the door. Vincent, go to your mother. Be safe. Live your life. I won't leave you. I won't. But they were already putting him in the police car. I stood there in the ruins of the mansion, covered in blood that wasn't mine. Alone. The trial was all over the news. Vincent D'Angelo. Mob boss. Murderer. Criminal mastermind. They painted him as a monster. I watched every second of it on TV from my mother's house. She was better now. The treatments had worked. Vincent's money had saved her. You should move on, she told me gently. Find a nice boy your age. Forget about all this. But how do you forget the person who taught you what love feels like? The lawyer, Mr. Chin, called me every week. He doesn't want you at the trial, he'd say. He says it's too dangerous. His enemies might come after you. I don't care. He does.
He's protecting you.
Even from prison. Can I see him?
He says no.
He doesn't want you to see him like that. I wanted to scream. To break things. To storm the prison and shake him until he understood. I wasn't some fragile thing that needed protection. I was the girl who'd stood beside him. Who'd fought with him. Who'd chosen him knowing exactly what it meant. The letter. One day a letter came. No return address. But I knew his handwriting. Dearest May, if you're reading this, I'm either dead or in prison for life. Either way, I'm gone. I need you to understand something. Everything I did, the violence, the crimes, the blood, it was all to build something. An empire. Power. Protection. But it was all worthless until I met you. You made me feel human again. You made me want to be better. And for a few beautiful months, you made me believe I could be. I was wrong. Men like me don't get happy endings. We don't get the beach house and the sunrise and the quiet life. We get trials and prison cells and bullets in the back.
But you?
You get to live. Really live. The money in the account Chin told you about, it's yours. All of it. Enough to take care of your mother for life. Enough to go to college. To see the world. To be anything you want to be. Don't waste it on me. Don't wait for me. Don't let your life stop, because mine did. Find someone good. Someone safe. Someone who can give you everything I couldn't. Fall in love again. Be happy. And sometimes, when you're watching the sunrise from that beach house you wanted, think of me. Remember that once, a monster loved you so much he let you go. Forever yours, V. I read it 17 times. Then I burned it. The knock on the door came at midnight. I opened it to find a man I'd never seen before.
Suit. Sunglasses.
Even though it was dark. Miss May? Who's asking? I'm here on behalf of Mr. D'Angelo. He has a message. My heart jumped. Is he okay? Did something happen?
He's fine.
But there's been a development. He wanted you to know. What development? The man handed me a folder. The prosecution's case is falling apart. Witnesses recanting. Evidence disappearing. It seems someone very powerful is pulling strings. I open the folder. Documents. Photos. Legal papers. What does this mean? It means he might go free. But there's a catch. What catch? The people helping him want something in return. They want him to take over the entire eastern seaboard. Expand his operation. Become 10 times more dangerous than he was before. My stomach sank.
No.
He's willing to do it. To stay alive. To get out of prison. But the man looked at me. Really looked at me. He wanted you to know first. Wanted you to understand that if he takes this deal, there's no going back. No peaceful life. No beach house. Why are you telling me this? Because he's giving you a choice. He's asked these people to delay the deal for 24 hours. If in that time you go to him, if you visit him in prison and tell him you still want him, he'll take the deal.
He'll come back to you.
You'll be together. And if I don't, then he'll refuse. He'll take whatever sentence they give him.
Life.
Death penalty. Whatever. He'll do it knowing you're free.
Safe.
Living the life he wanted for you. The man stepped back. 24 hours, Miss May. The choice is yours. He disappeared into the night. I didn't sleep. I sat on my bed, stared at the folder. Inside were photos of Vincent from the trial. He looked thinner, older, tired. But his eyes were still the same silver that had seen through me from day one. My mother came in around dawn. "You're going to him, aren't you?" she asked quietly. "I don't know." "Yes, you do." She sat beside me. "You've known since the moment he was taken away. He wants me to move on, to be safe." "What do you want?" I looked at her. This woman who'd raised me alone, who'd worked herself sick to keep me fed, who'd never once complained about how hard life was. "I want him," I whispered. "Is that crazy?" "Maybe." She smiled. "But love usually is." "He's dangerous. He's done terrible things. He'll probably die young and bloody and you love him anyway." "Yes." "Then go." She took my hand. "I didn't raise you to be safe. I raised you to be brave, to know your own heart. And if your heart is telling you to fight for him, then fight." What if I regret it? What if you regret not trying? I showed up at the prison at noon. They made me wait, go through security, empty my pockets, sign papers. Finally, they led me to a visiting room. Vincent sat on the other side of the glass. When he saw me, he went pale. "May," he breathed. "What are you? You shouldn't be here." I picked up the phone. He did the same. "You gave me a choice," I said. "I gave you an out. A way to walk away." "I don't want an out." "May. Stop. Just stop." Tears burned my eyes. "For 6 months, you've been making decisions for me. Deciding what's best. Deciding what's safe. I'm done letting you do that. I'm trying to protect you. I don't want protection. I want you." He closed his eyes. "If I take their deal, if I go back to that life, it'll be worse than before. More violence. More danger. More. I know. You could die. I know that too. Then why? Why would you choose this?" I pressed my hand against the glass. He pressed his against it from the other side. "Because a life without you isn't living," I said. "It's just existing. And I'm tired of just existing. I want to feel alive. Even if it's dangerous. Even if it's short. Even if it ends badly. You're 18 now. You have your whole life ahead of you. And I want to spend it with you." A tear ran down his face. "I don't deserve you. Probably not. But you've got me anyway." He laughed. A broken, desperate sound. "You're sure?" he asked. "Because once I make this call, there's no going back." I've never been more sure of anything. We might not get the beach house. I don't need a beach house. I just need you. May. He looked at me like I was the sun and the moon and every star. "I love you. God, I love you so much it terrifies me. Then come back to me. Take the deal. Get out of here. And let's live whatever life we can for as long as we can." He nodded. Okay. Promise me something, though. Anything. Promise me you'll try to be careful. That you won't throw your life away. That you'll fight to stay alive. I promise. And promise me we'll get one day at the beach. Just one. Before it all ends. I promise that too. The guard came over. Time's up. I didn't want to let go of the phone. Didn't want to leave. But Vincent smiled. A real smile. 3 days, he said. I'll be out in 3 days. Wait for me. Forever if I have to. He came home on a Tuesday. The mansion had been rebuilt. Bigger. More secure. More like a fortress. I waited in the main hall. Wearing a simple dress. Heart pounding. The door opened. Vincent stepped through. For a moment, we just stared at each other. Then he crossed the room in 3 strides and pulled me into his arms. The kiss was desperate. Hungry. 6 months of separation poured into that single moment. You're really here, he breathed against my mouth. I kept thinking I'd wake up. That this was a dream. It's real. I'm real. He pulled back. Looked at me. Really looked. You cut your hair. I'd cut it short. Practical. Do you like it? You're beautiful. You've always been beautiful. Flatterer. Truth teller. He tucked the short strands behind my ear. Are you ready for this? For what comes next? Are you?
No.
But I'll do it anyway. For you. For us. The next 2 years were complicated. Vincent expanded his empire like he'd promised. More territory. More money. More power. But he was different than before. Smarter. More careful. Less violent when he could help it. I have something to lose now, he'd tell his men. That makes me more dangerous. But also more cautious. I wasn't the innocent maid anymore either. I learned the business. Kept the books. Managed the legitimate operations that covered the illegal ones. I became his partner. His equal. His queen in a kingdom built on blood and money. We fought sometimes. About the risks he took. About the people he hurt. About the line between necessary evil and pure cruelty. But we always came back to each other. Because at the end of the day, we'd chosen this. Together. But Vincent's world doesn't let you rest. Rivals came. New ones. Old ones who'd survived. They targeted the businesses. The shipments. The money. And they targeted me. 3 times, someone tried to kidnap me. 3 times, Vincent's security stopped them. This is to end, I said one night after the 3rd attempt. We sat in his office.
Him at the desk.
Me on the couch. Both exhausted. I can't live like this. Always looking over my shoulder. I know. So, what do we do? He was quiet for a long moment. There's a way out, he finally said. But it's extreme. Tell me. We fake our deaths. Disappear. Let everyone think we're gone. My second-in-command takes over. We get our beach house. My heart jumped. You mean it? I've been planning it for months. New identities. Offshore accounts they can't trace. A house in Mexico. Small. Quiet. Right on the water. When? 6 months. I need to set everything up. Make sure the transition is smooth. Make sure we're really free. And then we're just 2 people. No empire. No enemies. No guns. Just us. It sounded too good to be true. What's the catch? I asked. The catch is we can never come back. Never contact anyone from our old lives. Your mother would have to think you're dead. That hit me like a punch. I can't do that to her. She's been through so much. It would kill her. Vincent stood up, walked over, knelt in front of me. What if we tell her the truth? Set her up somewhere safe. Somewhere she can visit us. Somewhere. She'd be in danger. Your enemies would use her to find us. Then we make sure she has protection. The best money can buy. I looked at this man. This complicated, dangerous, beautiful man who was offering me everything I'd ever wanted. You'd really leave it all behind? I asked. The power? The empire? In a heartbeat. It was never about that anyway. It was about survival. About proving I was more than what my father made me. But I've proved it. And now. He took my hands. Now I just want to wake up next to you every morning and fall asleep next to you every night. For the rest of our lives. However long or short that is. Then let's do it, I said. 6 months. And then we're free. Those 6 months were the longest of my life. Every day felt like a countdown. Every threat felt like it might be the one that stopped us from getting out. Vincent worked tirelessly, training his replacement, moving money, erasing trails. I told my mother everything. She cried. Then she laughed. Then she cried again. My daughter, running away with a mob boss. Your father would have had a heart attack. Are you okay with this? Am I okay with you being happy? Yes. She hugged me tight. But you call me. You hear me? I don't care if it's dangerous. You call me at least once a month, or I'm hiring a private investigator.
Deal.
Our last night in the mansion, Vincent threw a party. Not like before. No rivals. No business partners. Just the people who'd been loyal. Who'd kept us alive. Who deserved to see us one last time. The head housekeeper was there. Older now, but still sharp. You did good, girl, she told me. Survived this world. That's more than most people can say. I had help. You had love. That's better than help. At midnight, Vincent and I stood on the balcony, overlooking the garden. Tomorrow, he said. Tomorrow we drive away and never look back. Are you scared? Terrified. I've been in this life since I was 13. I don't know how to be normal. Then we'll figure out together. Make mistakes. Burn dinner. Argue about whose turn it is to do the dishes. He laughed. That sounds perfect. Below us, the party continued. Music. Laughter.
Life.
Do you regret it? I asked. Any of it? Meeting you? Never. The things I did before? Some of them.
But they led me to you.
So maybe they were worth it. That's a dangerous way to think. I'm a dangerous man. Not anymore. Tomorrow you're just. I smiled. Just mine. I've always been yours, he said quietly. From the moment you walked into my office and lied to me about being afraid. I was afraid. I know.
But you did it anyway.
That's what made me fall in love with you. He pulled a small box from his pocket. My breath caught. I know we can't have a traditional wedding, he said. Can't have witnesses or licenses or any of that. But he opened the box. Inside sat a simple silver ring. I want you to be my wife. In every way that matters. Tears spilled down my cheeks. Yes. He slipped the ring on my finger. Till death do us part, he asked. Till death do us part. We kissed under the stars. Above the life we were leaving behind. At the edge of the future we were running toward. Tomorrow we'd be free. The house in Mexico was perfect.
Small. White.
Right on the water. Every morning I woke up to the sound of waves. Every morning Vincent was beside me. We were just people. He learned to cook.
Badly.
But he tried. I learned to surf. Also badly. But it made him laugh. We adopted a dog. A mutt we found on the beach. Named him Trouble. We didn't talk about the past much.
Didn't need to.
Sometimes at night, Vincent would wake up from nightmares. I'd hold him until the shaking stopped. Sometimes I'd see someone who looked like one of his old enemies, and my heart would race. He'd take my hand and remind me we were safe. My mother visited twice a year. She loved the beach. Loved seeing us happy. You know, she said during her last visit, I was so angry when you told me you were running away with him. I thought you were throwing your life away. And now I see you found it instead. 5 years after we disappeared, I sat on the beach watching the sunset. Vincent came up behind me, wrapped his arms around my waist. What are you thinking about? He asked.
That day.
When I first walked into your office. If I'd known then where it would lead, all the pain and blood and fear, would I still have done it? And yes, I turned in his arms. 1,000 times yes, because it led me here.
To you. To this.
No regrets. Only one. What's that? I smiled. That I didn't tell that girl in your office what I know now. Which is that sometimes the monster isn't the one with the gun. Sometimes it's the world that forces people to become monsters just to survive. And sometimes, I kissed him softly. Sometimes the monster just needs someone to remind him he's human. You saved me, he whispered.
No.
We saved each other. We sat there as the sun sank into the ocean, as the sky turned from blue to orange to purple to black. Two people who'd found each other in the darkest place. Two people who'd fought and bled and risked everything for this. For normal. For peace. For love. And as the stars came out one by one, I thought about that young girl who'd been so afraid. And I thanked her for being brave enough to walk through those black iron gates. Because on the other side of fear, there was this. There was us. There was everything.